Elon Musk says, occupy Mars. Marksmellybell says, occupy your mind. There is so much that is still unknown about the mind, and especially your own mind. Because remember this, the most important podcast you'll ever do is the one that you sit down and take the time to do yourself. Self-authoring, really examining yourself and seeing if the thoughts about yourself are even true. People often ask about habits and motivation. Well, the way that you build habits and motivation is by building the mind. Think of your habits from now on and your goals that you have more about the strengthening and the exploration of the mind, circumnavigating your own mind. What do you like? What don't you like? Do you say to yourself, I'm not a morning person? Or do you say to yourself, man, I can't run. I can't do that. I'm not that good at that. I'm too short. I'm too fat. I'm too this and I'm too that. Do you have a tendency to say those things about yourself? And how do you change that dialogue? You change that dialogue by strengthening your mind. How do we strengthen the mind? Great question. You get to the body. If you get to the body, it will drive your mind and your brain. So do something physical. This is one way to do it. Also, make sure you're well rested, well hydrated, kind of the smaller things. And make sure that you're doing a good job of managing stress. This right here I'm doing today, running with this vest, this is stress. But also this is going to help me with stress management. People think of stress and they immediately think of the negative, but that's not true. They used to say that stress is the number one killer. I would say that stress is the number one ingredient that you need to not only live, but to thrive and to strive. Because this is a stressor right here. Lifting weights is a stressor. Riding a bike is a stressor. Climbing a mountain is a stressor. And also doing things that are challenging for your mind. Writing, reading, problem solving, journaling. These are all things that have their own levels of challenge to them. And rather than thinking about nailing down like the perfect morning routine or nailing down these perfect habits all the time, encourage yourself to start to have the habit of eating more protein, going on a walk every day. Just from the encouragement standpoint, from a positive standpoint, getting 8 hours of sleep, putting your phone away at a certain time at night so you can shut down at night. These habits will build and build and build, and eventually over time they'll start to become part of who you are, and they'll start to become part of your character. And then you'll have people say, I know that guy. That guy's crazy. But you're not really crazy. You're just fired up and motivated. Well, you can't be fired up and motivated if you're tired. You can't be fired up and motivated if you're stressed. You can't be fired up and motivated if you don't have the right ingredients to do those habits and to start setting those goals. So you need to figure out ways to maybe meditate. How many of you said, oh, I can't meditate? That's a huge problem. If you can't concentrate on anything for even 30 seconds, it's going to be really difficult to channel your energy in a specific way to where you can go real vertical. I was labeled as a kid of having learning disabilities, ADHD, LMNOP, all this bullshit, all these fake labels that people tried to stick onto me. And they only stuck when I believed in them. Well, now I have different beliefs. I can outrun and I can outwork just about anything. This kind of work is going to be the right kind of work to occupy the mind. They say that idle time is the devil's playground. It's one of the biggest things that faces American people of today. We have too much time to sit around and have anxiety and depression and loaf around. I'm not just discarding those things, but if you were doing something and you were doing something that fulfilled you, and you're doing something from the heart, and you're doing something that you feel is going to help yourself get better so you can be stronger for those around you, and you can also do stuff for others to help them get stronger, you ain't got time for anxiety. You ain't got time for a bad day. In fact, here's a Mark Smelly Bell fact for y'all. I never in my life have had a bad day. Start to think about that. Start to reinterpret everything you once knew and everything that you know. And if you do your work the right way and you go through it, you may also find out what I found out. That strength is never a weakness, and weakness is never a strength. And it is never a bad idea to start to explore and occupy your mind. Catch you guys later. Whoosh.